Hello and welcome to Recharge Wrestling. I'm Crust and I'm here to discuss the World Heavyweight Championship. Now we know that who the match is going to be between at Night of Champions, which is AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. Um, I just wanted to discuss a little bit about who I think should win and a bit of a sort of debate with myself, really, over the situation between these two superstars and who I think should carry the new title forward. So obviously, if you've been listening for a while, you'll know I'm a big Seth Rollins fan and advocate. I've wanted him to have a title run for some time. He had that minor US title run, but that was just sort of a stopgap. Um, if this was probably a month ago, I just said hands down. In fact, when it was unveiled, I said Seth Rollins needs this belt. I think with Roman Reigns almost being a part-time superstar now and carrying both of the belts, it was time to have somebody who could be there week in, week out to not necessarily defend this title, but to represent it on the brand and at least defend it possibly at almost every pay-per-view. It's also been announced recently that Roman is going to be working even less this year. Yes, he's amazing, he's phenomenal, but I think the problem is if he's not going to be there, you need some form of title being represented, especially the top card title. I know the Intercontinental Championship and US title's been defended and represented a lot better under Triple H, but I think we just need this pinnacle title and championship for people to aim for. Firstly, I loved these tournaments. I thought it was great. I think we sometimes need more of this, just rather than needing a storyline. Just have some of the best peak guys in the business and girls as well wrestling just for a spot. So like number one contenders matches and things like that. I just think it's brilliant. So this title is going to be defended at Night of Champions at the end of May in Saudi Arabia. Looking forward to that show. I think it's going to be good. So yeah, as I said, Seth, I think, should have been the champion. Something that's put a little bit of doubt in my head recently is the fact that he has been taken on board by a Hollywood film, Winter Soldier, a Marvel film. So it's a big deal. This is not just a small sort of WWE production or something like that. This is a big Hollywood deal, which could end up progressing onto other things for him, which I'm pleased for him. But as a wrestling fan, quite nervous and sad as to what this is going to mean for him. Because as we know, with the likes of The Rock, John Cena, once they get a taste of Hollywood, they tend to go down that route, and very rarely will they come back to wrestle full time. That's for sure. I know we had the likes of Sheamus, who had a spot in the Ninja Turtles, but I think that was slightly different. I can see Seth probably going on to bigger things. So that puts a little bit of doubt in my head as to whether he should have that, especially as I mentioned, Roman is not going to be around as much. You cannot have another situation like Roman Reigns. You can't have a new belt that doesn't sort of exist on the brand week in, week out. That would just be a complete farce. On the other hand, you've got AJ Styles, who would be a great champion, but he's just come back after quite a long hiatus. And prior to that, he wasn't really very hot, if you see what I mean. He was a bit lost in the middle of nowhere. It would feel a bit like they've just slapped the belt on him because Seth's going to be doing other things. I'm sure they was aware of this before they put Seth in this situation. So maybe the schedule is going to allow it. I know this week on Raw, we had an interview from Seth, which was awesome, by the way. We got the other half this coming week. But that was pre-recorded because of filming for this Winter Soldier. So already I'm getting a little bit nervous. I think in terms of who would deserve it more, I mean, it's got to be Seth. I think he's been a workhorse for the best part of a year. He's been wrestling almost every week. He's fantastic on the mic. He's very over with the fans as well. He is very over. And don't get me wrong, I'm a massive AJ Styles fan. It just feels a little bit he's just come back in straight back at the top without a build. I know he won that triple threat and it was great, and he will represent it very well. He was a great champion when he had it years ago. The house that AJ Styles built on SmackDown, I thought he was brilliant. So there's no doubt he will defend that title. Also, AJ's getting to the end of his career, I guess, just because of his age. They've mentioned it a few times, I think, on commentary. Um, so if he's going to have a decent run, maybe now that's it. Um, but then again, if Seth's looking to move towards Hollywood, maybe he's coming to the end of his continuous sort of full-time career. I'm not too sure. Some other considerations I've had is the fact that Money in the Bank is coming up, and realistically, cashing in on Roman Reigns doesn't seem too appealing, just because he's always got the bloodline around him, and I think they want that story to continue for quite a long time, to be honest. So I don't see taking the belts off of Roman being very advantageous. So what I am thinking is that maybe either of these could be champion, but for a small amount of time. The fact that we've got to have a new Money in the Bank winner coming up soon, and then we have SummerSlam right round the corner. You could have somebody carrying it for a short amount of time, whether that be AJ Styles, and then maybe you have Seth win Money in the Bank to then cash in on AJ Styles. I don't know, just to get the filming stage that Seth's career is going to be going through. There's lots they could do with it. I know we haven't got Cody Rhodes in this picture, but he also has eyes on bigger things. I also think his story should be the story they talk about. I think would be better with a larger build. I'd always like him to beat Roman, but I don't know if that's going to be the case at the moment. Was there anything else I wanted to say on this, really? No. I mean, my choice in terms of favorite wrestler and who I think deserves it, it's Seth freaking Rollins. But this Hollywood stuff has put me in doubt, and I definitely don't want it to go on somebody who is not there week in, week out. And I'm sure Triple H is fully aware of that. I think that's the whole point of this belt when they've been doing interviews and talking about it. Even Seth in his promos, he said about not being part-time. So surely he knew about this role he was having before. So maybe the schedule is going to work around him being in the ring. And I think it would be advantageous to him to have a belt. And I think it's a good promotion really for him and the film as well. And I'd love to see him carry this belt. There's one thing I do know though, this match is going to be incredible. These are two of the best in-ring superstars that WWE have. Two of the best wrestlers in the world. So this is going to be an absolute scorcher. Yeah, I think that's it from me. Put in your comments in the comment section what you think. I'd love to know. If you don't want to comment on YouTube, maybe you could tweet us. We're on Twitter at Recharge Wrestle. If you're on YouTube now, please give us a like and subscribe. It really does help us. And keep an eye out for more content. Thanks very much. See you guys later.